So when I was little, I've always known that I wanted to help people when I grow up. I didn't know who or how, but I knew that I've always liked helping people. And my dad was also a big part of that passion. He was always telling our friends and families that I will grow up to be a doctor. And it makes sense at the time because I only knew a handful of jobs. I knew there was a lawyer, a teacher, a firefighter, police, and a doctor. So like if I want to help people, I want to save lives. Makes sense. Fast forward to me moving from Thailand to America. I still feel that pressure. Only it wasn't a pressure, it's more like a mission. And so when college time came, naturally I declared my major in chemistry. And there were only 17 students at the time. And by the end of the year, there were only 7 left. I was one of the 7, but I was barely making it. I struggled a lot my freshman year and knew that this wasn't for me. But I decided to stay with it because I figured out this is fine, everything's fine. It's everyone struggles in college, this is a norm. But jokes on that, because I didn't. I switched my major second semester of my sophomore year to women's studies, which was a complete 180 flip. I was scared and nervous, and it was strange for me to, I guess, not knowing what I would do with the major, and I felt like I let everybody down. I felt like I let my dad down, I let my family down, and most importantly, myself down. Like, how was I supposed to help people with this degree? But fast forward again to this semester, my junior year. I was placed to be an intern at the Cambridge Women's Center, and which is a day shelter for abused and homeless women. I remember that my first day, a woman took me to a room and she was telling me how she was feeling that day and how she's been abused as a child and how this is affecting her life as an adult. I didn't know what to do but just listen. At the end of the conversation, we hugged and she thanked me. And at that point, I didn't think that this was a big deal, and I was also confused that she started to get emotional. But then I left the room and I realized that what I learned from that conversation is that I didn't need to go to medical school to become a doctor. I don't need to go, to be a doctor to like help someone or save someone's life. Because what I just did was that it was also helping, also saving a life, a woman who doesn't have a voice in today's society. So it took me this long to finally learn that there's always another way to achieve something you're passionate about. So I encourage you all here to accept change and be open to all possibilities. Because if I didn't change my major, I would have never known another way to help someone. Thank you.